Look, I want to say something about politicking.
Yeah.
Okay. And politics and wrestling, because I've been accused of a lot of things. Obviously, most of them came from Bobby Heenan, and the bullshit that he put out about me afterwards.
Right.
Politicking, I've always gone, not always, but over the last, I don't know, 2 decades of my life, I've lived by this one quote, and it came from Albert Einstein, and it said, "Don't look to be a man of success, look to be a man of value."
Oh, there you go.
And I've always approached my business like that. As far as wrestling is concerned. Hey, Tony, do you want to do the control centers? Yes, I do. Tony, would you like to help us out with talent relations? Yes, I do. Would you like to do interviews? Yes, I do. Would you like to stay up all night with Tony Khan and just go over things? Yes, I do.
Well, maybe that last one maybe was a bad call.
Yeah, maybe it's a bad call. But still, it's so I started out as just an announcer, but I knew that if I wanted to stay long in this business, longevity, and of course, WCW got sold and that ended that, I knew that I had to be more than just an announcer.
Right.
And if that's called politicking, then it's politicking. But I'm always wanting to do more, and I'm willing to do more. And I'm not willing to just be an announcer and sit in the announcer room but if that's, I think that's all a part of politicking. So I don't think that politicking is a bad word. Politicking is somebody that is viewed a lot of times, somebody that goes behind the boss's back and buries everybody else. That's not me. And I don't think that exists as much in wrestling as people think it does.
Well, but, yeah, here's the thing too. I think there's a difference in politicking to get you moved down the card, as opposed to politicking to make sure I stay on top of the card.
Right.
Those are two different things.
Sure.
And I think a lot of times people wind up arguing for their own creative.
Right.
Well, that's smart. That's good.
Yeah. Well, I was told that, he's told that you need to work closer with Tony.
Yes.
A lot of people said that because you have longevity in this business and the talent likes you and they respect you and you treat everybody well. And so I took that as saying, you know what, maybe I should. And so I've become more involved in the company now. And if that is Tony Schiavone politicking, then no, it's not. It's just Tony Schiavone, again, trying to be someone of value to the company.
Here's something I want to tell all of our listeners here. I say it. Young people in my life come to me sometimes and they'll say, man, I want to raise. I've been at my job a long time and I'm doing a good job, but I want to do more. And they said this and they said that. And how can I move up? How can I do better? How can I do more? Those type conversations. We've all been familiar with those type conversations.
Absolutely.
And my advice is always the exact same. Make yourself invaluable. Make yourself irreplaceable. Make it to where they don't think they could do this business without you. And if you find a way to make it to where those folks are totally dependent on you, or they believe and feel as if they are totally dependent on you being a part of this organization, guess what? You got a job forever.
Yeah.
Guess what? You got the leverage. So if you need a few days off here and there, no problem. Yeah. Right. You want to go ask for a little bit of a raise. They're going to have to think, what would it look like if he or she wasn't here? And if they have to think about that and they say, well, we just can't do that. Guess what? You won.
Yeah.
So you've done that. You've managed. And I'll tell you, it's something that once you really get the hang of it, man, life gets a little easier.
Yeah.
Because now you're not as dictated to. You have some influence.
Right.
And in your quality of life, I just think really at the end of the day, what we're talking about, Tony, and we're getting way philosophical here over a pretty good match.
Right.
Is, are you somebody who lets things happen to you, or are you someone who makes things happen for you? Yeah. And when people say that about Hunter, oh, he played politics. How? I mean, and why aren't you? Like, don't you want to make things happen for you?
Yeah.
Seems logical.
Yeah. That's very well said. Why aren't you?
Why aren't you? Like,
right.
Here's what I don't want to do. I don't want to be the guy who's the last one in and the first one out.
Right.
I want to be the guy who outworks everybody. I want to be the guy who is irreplaceable. I want to be the guy that people can count on, that people can depend on, that people don't have to wonder, what's Conrad going to do today? Is Conrad going to do what he said he would do? If that's the way people talk about you, man, you're going to go through life on a rough course.
Yeah.
But man, if you know that you can make yourself irreplaceable, you're going to have a little bit of leverage. You're going to get to enjoy a great quality of life. You're going to get to dictate the things that happen in your life. You decide, you're in control.
Sure.
And Hunter put his hands on the wheel, man. And he had quite a career, and look at him today, putting on the headset and strutting ass all over Monday Night Raw.
How about that?
The Garden.
That's something. Isn't that something?
I do think it's kind of fun though, that, you know, this Wednesday Night War started with Hunter versus Tony, and now it's Hunter versus Tony again. I'll be damned. I'm sure if I'm Tony Khan, I'm stomping around my mega yacht in Jacksonville thinking, what's it going to take to finish this guy off? I know you weren't watching, but back in the day, when Shawn Michaels screwed Bret Hart and he left, they re-signed Owen Hart for a bigger contract and made him stay. They wouldn't let him out of his deal, but they gave him a raise.
Yeah.
And Shawn went on TV and called Owen Hart a little teeny tiny stinky nugget where you flush the toilet and you think it's all gone, but bloop, bloop, bloop. Here comes this little stinky nugget that won't go away. And on some level, I'm sure Tony's thinking, Triple H, that damn nugget, gotta flush him one more time. Thought he was out of here.
I hope he doesn't think that way.
No, he probably doesn't. I don't think Tony thinks about nuggets.
Yeah. I hope Tony thinks about how do I make my product better. Hey, you know what? I was thinking there. Now let's take a look here in this match because they are on the mat here. Maybe we'll find out exactly how big Batista's dick is.
Oh gosh, I hope not.
I don't know what made me think about that. Maybe it's because
every time we record, you're hog watching.
No, well, when you have a hog the size of mine, you always look around and go, why not me? You know?
I mean, do you think, let's talk about this. You have a lovely family, a happy marriage,
okay,
a wonderful home, the world's best friend in Bug.
Yes.
A job that you enjoy, that you feel provides meaningful work and brings value to the world. And we know that. We've proven it time and time again. And you got to live your dream and you get to travel the world. And you've got all that. And you think, trade it all in for a big old dick.
I didn't say I would trade it in.
I mean, I'd be homeless and working at Home Depot or living under a bridge and
but
suffering from major medical issues. But God, if I had a mega hog,